Hello friends! Welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be doing a flip through of my entire 2020 health planner. I'll be going through all of my monthly and weekly spreads as well as a few inserts that I used in 2020 just so you guys can see the whole thing completed and maybe get some ideas for your own planner. So if that sounds good, let's jump in. For 2020, I built my own planner using inserts from my shop. I have a health layout that I fashioned after the Happy Planner's original Healthy Hero planner, which I really liked, and created a layout for that. So for the actual planner itself, I'm using a cover from a Happy Notes journaling called Shine Bright, and just some plastic silver metal discs. Or silver disc, plastic discs. So in the front, I have put in some of the inserts that I used in 2020. This one in particular, the Build My Ideal Body, was one of my goals for 2020. But as you guys know, 2020 was a dumpster fire and nothing went to plan, including my health goals. Around March or April, I had some issues with my health, so that was right around the time I made this and had set up my, focus to build my ideal body and finally get that goal accomplished. So it did not happen. But I really did like this insert to kind of guide me through the steps, and I hope to do something similar again here for 2021 and start afresh once I kind of know how this year is going to go. I'm already kind of discouraged to do goals this year. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely having trouble settling on goals for any reason whatsoever because it just feels so up in the air. But anyway, so I made this insert and I have a video, I believe, on all the inserts I'll be showing you today. So if you're interested in any of those for 2021, do check out my playlist that has all of my DIY inserts in there. So the front, this is the front how I did it. I did this all on camera, and then on the back, I made a 12-week tracker because I was kind of focusing in on how I was going to achieve my goals. I had set it up here for what I was going to do each week and then the different aspects I was going to focus in on in order to reach my goal. So, like I said, started in March, terrible time to start, and it didn't really work. I did sort of kind of have a good week near the beginning, but after that it was like 0 days, nothing happened, nothing as expected. So the insert was a little bit of a flop, but I will try to do something again, like I said, for 2021 once I kind of figure out how this year is going. So the next insert I did was a 10 ways to get more steps because I just needed to get more steps. Part of it was that I needed to move more and I needed some ideas because working from home and also COVID quarantine at the time, I was just very sedentary and I wasn't going out and walking and getting fresh air. And so I tried to give myself some ideas to help me get moving and get more steps in each day. And so this was a really good insert. I kind of still want to keep this somewhere. I might move it back into my 2021 planner just to have a good reminder about getting more steps each day, but we'll see. Because on the back, I did a monthly step tracker to, again, try to keep accountable for my steps. I did track throughout the year, and I definitely picked up. So it was really good. About summertime is when I started to focus a little bit more, and then it dropped off, and then I kind of finished, I thought, pretty strong. I got close to my 300K goal, which is 10,000 steps a day. This was a good tracker just to keep me pushing to get better. This tracker here was a little confusing for some people. At the time I made this, it was more for going to the gym and doing certain classes or certain routines. So I had made this tracker to hold these sticky notes. So what I would do at the beginning of the week is I would say, okay, these are the classes I want to go to, and I would use the sticky notes as placeholders, and then once I actually did that class, or if I did some other routine, like some kind of leg routine, or met up with a friend and ran at the lake, like that kind of stuff, I would enter it in on the sheet, like the actual workout, what I did. But this was kind of like a pre-planning way for me to know what I was going to be doing throughout the week. But when I was done with those stickies, I needed a place for them to stay, so I made this little sheet just with a place for the stickies to be housed until I was pre-planning for the week, or when I was done with them, I could put them back. So this was actually really helpful, and I did use stickies before in 2019, back when I was going to the gym more regularly, obviously. So when I created this, it was nice just to have a little home for them to all live and have those there. So that's what this actual sheet was for. Since gyms are still closed and things, it's not quite as useful, but maybe when things pick back up and things are safe again to go work out at the gym, or even if I'm trying to do a specific plan that has repetition, I could still use this. Like I'm doing the 21-day fix, or trying to do the 21-day fix, and so if I wanted to follow the workout schedule with the videos, I could easily create those stickies, put those on each week, and then kind of house them here, because it is repetitive. You're doing the same workouts week after week. So that's just a way you could use this. But I really liked the styling of it, and I just like making inserts so that they're useful but also encouraging. And then here on the back, I actually made a workout schedule of my normal routine of the classes that I was going to on a regular basis, or whatever type of workouts I was doing, just so I would have a standard routine, and then if I need to deviate, that's what kind of the stickies are for, in case I change my mind or something came up or it was a holiday, that kind of thing. So those are the inserts I'm sharing with you here. I also had made a body tracker last year, which I did a video on, and because last year was so bad, I just can't show it to you guys. Like, my starting weight and my ending weight are so far apart, and so I just did not want to share that. It's a little depressing for me, and so until I kind of get back into a normal range for myself, I'm just going to keep that to myself. But if you want to see how I made the tracker, you can definitely see that. I did do a video on that, and I made a new one for 2021 if you want to see the variation. Okay, so that's all the inserts I have for 2020 to show you, and then we start into the actual weeklies and monthlies. The dividers that I used are a hodgepodge of different ones I had in my stash of Happy Planner stuff, from different Happy Notes or old planner parts that I didn't use, dividers with months on the back, that kind of thing. So all I did was made a collection of those and put them in here, and then I stuck the back of the monthly to it. This is an example of kind of how I did that. So it's actually stuck to the divider. This year I'm going to keep them separate, but for 2020 I decided to glue them all to the dividers, very similar to a Happy Planner. This was January 2020, and this was the start of the year. I just kind of wanted it to be fun and exciting and just like a launch of getting healthy and feeling good. I did a step tracker, so I use a lot of the gold. I guess you can't see the gold, but yeah. I use a lot of gold on this, just, January, New Year kind of thing, and track my steps. I also use these to track my rest days. And then I also was tracking my weight weekly on here, just again to kind of keep me focused, get back on track. I was trying to get to a certain goal weight at the end of December 2019, and so I was trying to continue back to that. That was one of the goals for the week. That's why I was tracking my weight. So I also was writing in anything that was of note as far as my chronic issues or something to just like back in the gym, that kind of thing. So I did try to use this, reminding myself to meal plan on certain days. Yeah, so it's kind of all over the place, but it was just like the start of a year, so I just wanted to tackle it all. And then this was the first spread of the year. This is the first spread in my inserts, and then I also had a few new sticker books to try out. And I really liked how this turned out. It was, I think, a plan as I go, if I recall correctly. So I didn't have anything set up ahead of time, which is why it's a little bit more sparse than I normally do. I think I was just sticking down stickers and sticking down these little circles as I went. Turned out pretty good. I also hand wrote in my stats at the time, because this was before I had my foam enamel printer. But overall, I think this one was really simple but cute. The colors were very, nice to look at. So this one was for the second week, obviously, of January, and I was using a bit more of my pen highlighters and things in the earlier months, I think. Like here, I was again writing in my steps instead of having stickers for that, so I was trying to do that with the color coding. But this one was a cute one. I was doing this a lot too, where I would put a quote across the middle and keep the top for workouts, the middle for nutrition with total calorie tracking, and then my stats at the bottom, which I don't deviate very far from, as well as a few habit trackers here in the sidebar. And here is another spread in a similar fashion with the quotes and the encouragement here in the middle. I also really liked this one. I remember very clearly liking the color scheme. The soft rainbow was just really pretty to look at. I usually like bright colors in my health spreads, but just the soft tones of this was really good. And I really enjoyed this spread a lot when I did it. I just remember really loving it. This one was another really good spread. I cut up some box stickers that had like these swashes of color across that were divided up in almost like a gradient fashion. I cut them up and used those as my food log stickers. I think that turned out so cute, and definitely would like to do that again. I really liked how that turned out. I had some step trackers or stats trackers from older health books, so near the beginning of the year I was just hodgepodging any stickers I could that fit in the theme, so I was able to bring these together with those color scheme that I had chosen. And this was another fun one. I had a rainbow theme, bright, fun, and then just a cluster of circles. Always a good theme to see a rainbow theme. And yeah, I just, again, kind of the same layout, not a lot of variation. Saturday is usually my rest day. Had my workouts at the top. But this was a very nice one. And then also in 2020, I started tracking my monthly stats so that I could get an overall picture of how I did each month and see how I was progressing month to month. I just did it kind of bullet journal style on the last page of my printable, which is just like a dot grid page, perfect for this. So this was the first attempt at it, and I thought it turned out really cute and fun, and also very helpful to see where I was going right and where I needed more focus. So that was the first month. So then we got into February. And February, I remember I was doing a fruit fast because I was going to try just to do like a detox kind of cleanse. And I was having a lot of health issues at the time, a lot of chronic allergies and asthma. Winter's not a really good time for me, so yeah, I was just really feeling crummy, and I thought that maybe if I tried to detox, it would help. It did a little, but I remember having to give it up and going to the doctor to get some meds that will usually clear me up and get me back on track for a couple months. So I was just tracking how I was feeling through this whole process, more so in the beginning for the fruit fast, but then I kind of was more focused in on my symptoms and how I was, improving or what have you. I started doing this a lot as we go through, where I just started tracking how I was feeling, symptoms, that kind of thing going forward, which you'll see in later months. So the setup was pretty simple. And then I also would put my goals here on the side for the month. So this one was really fun. I think I used Planner Babe for this setup with maybe the Healthy Hero sticker books I had. So very purple with like pops of rainbow stripes. Really cute. I like this one a lot. I remember having a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of February, so yeah, that's why a lot of these workouts didn't happen. But you can see this is when the fruit fast started. A lot of apples and veggies and apples and more apples and veggies. And so I did do a pretty intense start to it to see if I could help and get back on track, but So this next week I again had set myself up for this fruit fast, and I decided to do more of a detox, but I didn't keep to it very well. Again, when I was feeling kind of crummy, even though I know that the detox is supposed to help, I just feel like, ugh. So anyway, I did still try though, and I did see a little bit of an improvement, so that was nice. And so yeah, and then the spread, kind of a rainbowy overview. So this was a really fun one, very energizing with the lemon color scheme and the black. I think this is the first week I started feeling a little bit better, and I was going consistently to the gym. Yeah, I didn't really miss anything except for maybe there. So it was good. Again, just kind of reusing all of the leftover stickers. These two here are actually green, but I tried to camouflage that. And yeah, I think this one was really just fun and energetic. And this is another one I actually really liked. Very simple, but just that soft rainbow. I like that color scheme a lot. So this one was, I think, yeah, a pretty strong week. In the beginning of March, I was doing a lot better. So I definitely was picking up more of my workouts, getting back on track just before COVID or the quarantine of COVID hit. But so it was cute. Same setup as normal. Got some habit trackers and just the encouragement in the middle, workouts, food, stats. And then my monthly stats for February, again, kind of bullet journal style. I kept a similar format from the previous month, and yeah, again, just kind of tracked. Things were down though in February, I think because of my health issues, but it did pick up a little bit more in March, if I recall correctly. So for March, I decided to do an icon version of a habit tracker. So I had a little key here of the things that I wanted to get done, like walking 10,000 steps or doing a lift workout or no cheat meals. And then when I did those each day, I would put down a sticker. This was fun. Not something I think I would do long term, but it's a great idea if you are a visual person and like to see things visually. It's a lot easier to count up how many of you had, how many you had of each day. And track that, so that it's fun in that sense. And then here I did write in when Corona kind of started hitting and I stopped going to the gym, and yeah, that's kind of when things started to trail off. But I was really strong before then, unfortunately. It's like, just when I started getting momentum, then COVID hit. So yeah, so this was the first really strong week. Felt like I was getting back into the routine. I used these stat stickers from the fitness sticker book and did not like the setup, the rounded setup of that. So you can see I tried some different things and I just found that I didn't really like these trackers at all. I did set up myself for a goal so that I could visually see where I was trying to get each week. That was kind of handy. Maybe I will reinstate that for future weeks. And then I had my kind of overall goal here of what I was trying to do, workouts, and then just a cute little saying to try to get myself to go outside, because like I said, stay-at-home life for me Makes it so hard to go outside. I don't know why, but I get all comfy, cozy, and get to work, and then next thing I know, it's dark. So anyway, just trying to get myself to get outside, get some fresh air. This one was a fun one. I think I called this maybe lasers because I was gonna try a different like geometric pattern in the beginning, and then I just decided in the end just to leave the lines and do kind of like a blue to purple, or not blue, green to purple gradient. And yeah, I think it turned out kind of fun, a little bit weird, but fun. And I just remember everything was very hodgepodgey. Like, these are washi stickers that I cut up. I had those weird stat trackers that I don't really care for, but made the color scheme kind of work all together. So this is cute. This is when everything starts to go downhill. So I'm not even going to bother commenting on my performance kind of going forward. It's just going to go down for a while. So this one was me just trying to refocus and de-stress and just stay the course. So I'd used like this little cheetah. This one was really fun, animal print, rainbow. I put a little weight and a hat on him. I remember that was just bringing me joy all week. But yeah, aside from that, pretty standard stuff, nothing too exciting. I remember not loving this one very much. I was just losing that momentum I had built up in the beginning of March, and just was not happy with this design. So that kind of just, yeah, you know, if I'm not happy with the design, I'll try. So I really have to work to make something pretty to look at, or else it affects me, unfortunately, and my tracking. But yeah, so overall, it's not my favorite, but the layout really didn't change very much. This was still when I was just doing workouts at the top, and the same format as far as going down the page. And then here was March, and like I said, surprisingly, I did better in March, but then, you know, that was only for the first week or so, and then it just drops off, and that was when Corona hit. But I did change the layout a little bit here. I changed the color scheme, and then I took off some of the illustrations I had made just to make it simpler to set up. So since I could no longer go to the gym, in April I decided to try a Couch to 5K plan. And so I set this all up for that. I also wanted to do, I think, a plank push-up challenge, which is what you see here at the top, the 10 seconds versus the 5, being like 5 push-ups, 10-second plank. And I wrote it all in, all ready to go. Let's do this. And then I had some crazy health issues early in April that just knocked it out. So I didn't even get to do this. But yeah, so this is, yeah, it was a great setup, and probably will revisit it at some point when I'm feeling back to running again, if ever. I really hate running. I'll just put that out there right now. I really don't like running, but it's great for weight loss for me personally, so I do it reluctantly. So that's what the plan was, since I no longer had the gym. Oh, and then this was, I was like, why does this look so different? So in April, what I decided to do was to try some different bullet journal layouts, which was actually super fun. I just wanted to mix things up and see if that helped at all. So the first one I did was like a dashboard layout, in a sense, where I used a few stickers over here, put my habit trackers, kind of laid out my week, tried to get some meal prep going, just to, you know, just refocus, get back on track. And then over here, I was having my workouts and my stats. I had my food log, and then my water and total calories here. And this setup was good. I did like how it was just something new to look at. Sometimes it's good to mix things up and just get a fresh perspective. And then this was the second week, so I tried a different layout every week just to see if there was any that I really loved. This one was pretty good as far as flow. Oh, sorry. flow of the week, like just seeing it all. I had plenty of room to write everything in, didn't feel too crowded. Kind of stuck with one color, but I think that really worked. It was very clean looking and kind of tracking the same thing. I also started tracking my macros on this one just to show it a variation. So this one was really cool. So this one I didn't like as much. I liked the idea of the colors, but I kind of messed up the color scheme, which made me not like it because I need to have it the way I need to have it. I'm just like that. So I think that this was fine, but the rotation wasn't quite right on this side of the page, so then it just didn't all match up. But same information mainly that I was tracking: my steps, my water, my meals, and my exercise, and just a different format. This one was kind of more quadrant and habit trackers here on the end. So yeah, it was okay. This one I really liked a lot. Obviously, it's the same setup. It's just a bullet journal version of the Healthy Hero health layout that I have in my shop. I started out with this one and I didn't have some of the embellishments. I think I started just with a real basic layout, and then I came back in and added more of the brown and these coffee rings, which I think just totally sold it. I loved how it came out after I saw the coffee rings on it, and it was just really great. But also, this was the week where everything just went. So it was a fun one to have all set up, but after that, yeah. And then there was this one, which actually was really cute as well. You know, those rainbow spreads, always good. And I did modify this. I originally had set it up one way, and then I changed it because of the health issues I was having, so that I could just kind of focus in on more things related to getting better versus working out and food. That is how this turned out. This was actually another good layout. So if you are thinking of trying some health bullet journaling, there are 5 different ideas there for you to try, and maybe you can pick the one that you feel best fits what you are currently hoping to track. And then at the end, I did my April monthly stats. This one was, again, kind of the same format but different. Changed the color scheme a bit and kept it even more minimal, just because it was, I was having trouble during this time actually sitting down and doing a lot of writing, so it wasn't quite as clean looking as I normally do. So then we're into May. And so since, like I said, I was more focused in on recovery at the end of April, I decided that I was going to just kind of make it easy on myself and focus in on doing my physical therapy exercises for the month of May. Not focus so much on, you know, heavy workouts or anything, just trying to get back to a normal feel to my body. So that's what I was doing, and I was tracking if I was doing my workouts to get back to normal. It was also my birthday month, but we were still in the heart of COVID and lockdown, so it was very uneventful. Here's a different way that I set up my normal layout. For May, it looks like I did a little bit of a change here. I did more of a journaling situation where I just talked about how I felt that day, tracking whether I did my exercises. Steps and sleep was the only stats I was tracking. I also did my food and then any activity, but mostly I was just walking at this time for any kind of exercise. And so this one, I kind of went back to my normal, so it was just, I guess it was just the first week of May. Went back to my normal setup, but focus again more on just slowly getting back up to where I normally was as far as walking, getting outside, eating well, steps. I was tracking this mainly for my steps to make sure, and my sleep. I did a cute kind of quote across the middle, just trying to keep that encouragement going, and a limited color scheme. But I thought this one was really was a good one. And then this was my birthday week, and I love donuts, so I decided to just do donuts all over this spread. It was super fun. The color scheme was a little bit weird because the donuts that I was using have this like blue, pink, and almost a soft green with this sticker here. So I used that as a color palette, and it turned out good, just not a normal donut color palette that I would think of. And cut up this quote, put it across the top, just to kind of bring me some joy during the week. And then here I used, I think this is the Detailed Florals sticker book. Really like this. It kind of used those rounded box stickers that are, I find, kind of awkward in a lot of situations. But I used them here and they kind of look like windows. I thought that looked really kind of cool. Added some decor, but also plenty of space to write in my workouts. So that was a really cool use of it. And then I did just like a collage of flowers here for color and brightness. But again, yeah, everything else is kind of using those hodgepodge leftover stats I had from previous sticker books, trying to use those up where I could. This one was really pretty. I really liked this one a lot. And then again, May, I did the monthly stats, just pretty much changed the color and brought back the illustrations from before, starting to feel a little better. So started to track a little bit closer there. So June is when I tried to just refocus again, start fresh, build back up to where I needed to be. So I have my goals set up here on the side. I also kind of started this almost like a all pin spread for my monthlies, which you're going to start to see more often. And again, tracking my symptoms mostly. So I have like this, what's up with you, and how I'm improving or how things are affecting my health. So this one was good. I liked the setup a lot, and I found that doing the little synopsis every day on the spread was the perfect amount of space. So I definitely kept that going forward. In June, it was summertime, was starting to get out more, starting to enjoy the outdoors. So I had some squad girls kind of doing their thing, and I think I was inspired by a planner babe, which I can't remember who exactly I was inspired by, but I saw her do some boxes with squad girls and decided to try that. I think it actually came out really cute. I think the rainbow really helped bring it all together, and yeah, I just remember liking this in the end. And then this one, I pulled out some old school watercolor florals, and I believe this was the first time, yes, the first time I decided to meld these two boxes together and make one big section of decor and workouts. And as you'll see, I continue with that going forward in many different applications. So I really ended up loving the extra space at the top for decor and still keeping it functional. So I did also a rainbow spread of the florals across this. Again, bright colors for the energy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And some gold pops of color. Here I did almost the exact same thing, but I flipped it on its head and did the workouts kind of across the bottom, but I still whited out the entire top so that would feel like they were connected in a way. And I did like this fruit rainbow effect across, and I really thought this came out super cute, fun to look at, and very summery, but food related, healthy. So I really like this one a lot, and the rainbow, always a good choice. And then this was another one that I kind of felt that was really fun and creative, was the No Drama Llama, where I kind of made it feel dimensional with the llamas, but interspersed with workouts. since I was only doing, you know, 1 or 2 workouts or 1 workout a day tops, I was definitely able to fit a lot more stuff in at this time. And I just did the color scheme in the greens with a little bit of blue. And I think it just came out super, super, super cute. So this one I really liked a lot, surprisingly. And then this was the last monthly stats that I did, and again, same setup, just different colors. I added a different little graphic here for progress report, but I think in July I changed it up. So this was like the last month where I did it with this setup, but I really liked the little graphics on this month a lot. So here we are in July, and again, the setup was very similar to June. I really liked that summery style spread. I used this in the beginning just to kind of start the month off, and then I also was using a little bit more of these symbols to track certain medications I was taking at the time. I definitely build up on this, where I add in, you know, not only my meds, but supplements or different things I do just to help keep me healthy. So you'll see that as we go forward. But I like this setup where it's just like all pen, 1 color, and just set up for the month. And this one was great. I like this one, very food oriented. I think I was trying to get back to eating healthy since, you know, I definitely got off track, kind of got depressed a little bit with, you know, not being able to work out like I was before. So, and then all of the COVID, like, you know how we all were. We were just like in a different zone, and then plus the health issues kind of put me in a different place. So I was just ready to refocus and get back on track. And I think I'm going to say that I try to get back on track like 100 times, because I tried like every week just to refocus, but it took almost all year for me to really get to where I feel like I 100% was ready to recommit. Even though I tried, it just did not stick like it normally does without having, I think, the gym aspect of my health. But anyway, so I did these foods, and again, I kind of did like a gradient of color, and I really like that. So each day was like focused in on the fruits and vegetables that were in that color scheme. So that really, I think that turned out really good. And then this one, I think I decided just to use those pineapples, and I think I did some watercolor creams on the background here so that the pineapples kind of blend in. Just that whole big box section at the top, but still having space for workouts. I did use some colored markers and things to kind of re-emphasize the color scheme. I think this one was kind of fun and different, trying out the watercolor creams as a background for those stickers that are on background colors is really nice, so that they blend, like I said, a little bit better into the background. And then this one, I think I had recently gotten some tape, washi tape that has these inches on it, and I wanted to use that. So I pulled that in, but again, kind of back to my normal focus area here with the workouts and the stats and food at the bottom. But this one was really good. Simple color schemes always tend to go well. This one I remember really loving a lot. This one was from the Dream Seeker sticker book, and I used these hexagons from the Rainbow Mega Pack and just kind of did a real subtle rainbow across. Really loved how this turned out with the florals and pops of the copper foil. You guys can kind of see it when I move pages around. So yeah, this one just turned out really pretty. Even though it's not like the most energizing, I definitely did not want to mess this guy up, so I did try harder to fill it out the most I could. And I like my top 3 over here. It says stop messing, focus, because I would try to focus every week and then just get off track so easily. So anyway, tried. This one here, I think I did like a beachy theme. It was under the sea was the theme for the Plantable Challenge that week, and I had some cardstock left over from doing my horizontal spread. So I decided to kind of make a beachy scene with those leftover paper cardstock. And I thought this turned out really cute. It was a bit much, but I still liked looking at it. Again, kind of a soft rainbow where I could, and using that gradient to tie everything together. But yeah, and it definitely made me think about the beach and just kind of hanging out, and I liked that. So here's the new setup for July, and I kind of simplified things a bit, but I think overall it was just much easier to maintain the setup month to month. I'm not much into bullet journaling only because it does take so long to set things up, and I'm not into that. I like just getting to the meat of what you're doing. The setup just takes too long, I think, for me. So this is kind of a little bit more simplified. The same information, just a little bit more easy to set up. And I also limit it to one color, so as you'll see, I'll change the color every month, but it will just be one color as the main color as we go. This month, again, I tried doing the symptom tracker style. I also added in some fasting hours because that was one of the goals for the month, so I was kind of tracking when I was fasting between, what hours I was fasting between. And I kind of made a little key over here, so my intermittent fasting symptoms, and then I also started tracking my meds and supplements. So the key got a little bit longer over here, as you can see. But again, one color, mainly all pen setup. And then I also have this little habit tracker in here that I use to track my water. I think I was trying to drink more water each day, and my vitamins. So this guy I did, I think this one was, I had just got the Cool to Be Kind sticker book. I really like the stickers actually for my health layouts from that book. I mixed them in with some florals from, I think, just the floral sticker book. And again, a rainbow, as best I could. This one was a little bit off because of the gold, but I think I kind of pulled it together. So this one was good. And I actually started to do some running at this time, so I was definitely feeling better, and biking with my husband, getting outside more, which was fun. And this one I did kind of, again, a full top box situation with the workouts and everything all in one. I added in these quotes and then just this cute little sloth guy for my day off. But mainly the theme of the greens was fun to look at. I don't remember how energizing it was, but I think I started off thinking it wasn't going to be that cute, and then as I went through, I really enjoyed it near the end. So that's how that went. This one, I think I used a mix of one of the color storybooks and the colorful boxes, the one with the florals in it. This one was good. I mean, I like bright colors. I don't remember being in love with this. I think it's mainly because of this weird quote that I see in a lot of the books, and I'm just not very fond of the quote itself. So yeah, it was just a little bit awkward. Its layout, and then I'm not very into this quote in particular. But yeah, it was okay. I don't remember anything fantastic about this guy. Kind of the same for this one. Color scheme was good, but I don't remember loving it. Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too, I don't know, just meh. So anyway, that's how this spread came out. And here's August stats, which was, again, just another color. So now we're into this teal tone, but same setup, and did a little better. I think I had 3 goals before, and I pushed it up to 4 in August. September. So for September, again, very similar to the previous couple months with the tracking of the meds and supplements, the symptoms, and I also was tracking the weather a bit because I was noticing some connection to that, specifically because we had some fires, wildfires, and I was tracking in the smoke, if the air was smoky or if it was hotter or cooler, blowing the smoke around if there was some. So I have that in there. But the setup is pretty much all the same. Added a few more stickers this time, but still kind of limited the color palette to the purple. That's how that turned out. This one, I remember really liking the suede color scheme of these boxes. Everything else was just okay. I'm not a big animal print girl, but I think it came together nicely. The pinks and the oranges were energizing in themselves, and I really just ended up liking the feels of those boxes, kind of the texture of them for some reason. Overall, this was good, kind of focusing back in on my goals, and yeah. This one I think was related to a plannable challenge, maybe the black and white challenge. That kind of sounds familiar. And I decided to do a shiplap farmhouse feel. The idea I think is so cute, but for a health spread, the lack of color was just awful. It was just awful for the week. Did not push me to do anything. I just loved this. I loved moments on here, but overall not energizing at all. So word to the wise, if you like that modern farmhouse, you got to add some pops of color because otherwise, I don't know, I just felt like so monotone and so at the end when I would look at it. I even tried to add in some color with this green ink and the highlighter, but it just wasn't enough. So even though I liked it in theory and the design of it, not great for a health spread. And then this one, I believe, was actually something about camping, maybe outdoor adventures was the theme, again, for the plannable challenge. And I did it here in my health spread. And here I just had some really cute, stylized animal stickers that I thought would look really cute here for the outdoors. And just kind of set it up. I don't remember if we were going to try to go camping or something, and then, yeah, it just didn't happen, but tried again, kind of similar to the llama setup where I was creating more of an atmosphere up here and then adding in the workouts in strategic places. That's how that turned out. I thought it was pretty cute. So this one, as you can see, kind of got a lot going on, but again, very bright, so that definitely helps, even with the black to kind of ground things and not make it too overwhelming. Like this giant quote with color, I definitely gravitate more towards that when I am working out or just want to get those energy feels going for working out and focusing on my health. So this one was a good one. Nice giant quotes, and this quote I believe came from the Cool to Be Kind sticker book as well that I picked up. Big quotes make it much easier to do decor, I tell you. And now we have September. This one I ended up doing it in blue, but again, same layout, very clean looking. I really like the simplified look, even though it's a lot less cute, a lot less decor. I do like this simpler look. Okay, so now we're on to October, and this one, again, same setup. I just focused a little bit more on pinks this month. I tried to actually pencil in some lines so that my writing would get a little bit cleaner and helped a little bit. It does look a little less chaotic. But this year I have a lined layout, thankfully, and it will help, I think, just make the writing a lot neater. Okay, so I love this one a lot. Again, rainbow's always good, bright colors always good. This one has a ton of health inspiration, tones, just always a good thing. I think all of these icons are from the Healthy Hero sticker books, and I basically just did it in almost like a rainbow gradient. This one was cute. I just don't remember it being very energizing because of these kind of softer tones, but it was like in fall, and we've been bike riding a little bit, me and my husband, so I had decided to kind of do like a fall bike around this washi tape road, and then I used this washi tape kind of to bring in some of the colors. Color scheme is kind of cool looking, but I just don't, again, remember it being very energizing because I need those bright, fun colors to really make it happen. But overall, I think a good looking spread, just like I said, a little bit less energizing. And actually, this one was really, really pretty to look at. So this is like another one where the colors aren't necessarily bright enough to really bring energy, but because it's so pretty, I did try a little bit harder just to get in here and make it look good. So for this guy, I focused in on the pinks and the oranges. I brought in some florals, and this one was good. I was also tracking when I was eating my food, trying to get back on having a regular schedule with fasting. And this one I used the watercolor creams again because of the orange stickers I used. Kind of made it like fall festival, harvest festival. I surprisingly like this one. I think the amount of color helped, and then like the variations of patterns, adding in some of this washi patterning really helped me like it a lot better than I would have normally. And yeah, I was also again trying to get back on track once again. So I tried. This one I did using vinyl stickers I'd gotten from a friend who bought them on Amazon of Baby Yoda. This was the week I think they launched the beginning of the season 2 of The Mandalorian, so I just thought it'd be fun to bring in the Baby Yoda stickers here, and I did pull the color scheme from the stickers. This one actually turned out really cute and fun. I enjoyed looking at this one. Bright colors always help, like I said. And then here's my October stats. Did not do as well with a lot of the stats as far as reaching my goals in October, which really pushed me to November to refocus, and I really started to do a lot better with my health in November, 100%, because I was just very disappointed in my performance at the end of October. But I really wouldn't have known if I hadn't done my monthly overview, so it was good just to get that overall picture and see how much I had not been reaching the goals that I needed to. So that was October. We're going to go into November. I am not going to show you the November monthly only because I decided to track my weight for the entire month. And again, I'm just not in a happy place with my weight, so I'm just not going to share. But the setup was very similar to the previous months where I was tracking my symptoms and things. I just added in my weight daily. And then here I did a harvest kind of color scheme with the pumpkins. I think I used the Wrong and Wild Style books mainly for this spread. I really like the fall feels on this one, very kind of sophisticated color palette. And I was just in the middle of fall, sometimes I crave those fall colors. So it was actually a good one for me. It did help me get to where I needed to go. This guy was a watercolor theme, and I really like this one a lot. I like the orange, pink, and kind of like periwinkle color scheme. Again, kind of doing a gradient across to help everything feel, I don't know, just connected in a way. And I liked how this one turned out a lot. Even though it's a little bit softer, I really like those soft rainbow color schemes a lot, even in my health planner. So this one was good. And then this one was a little bit different. I pulled in some blues and just went for like this marbling with the gold, and I really thought this turned out great. Not my normal, but the overall effect of it I thought was really good. You know, I had 2 workouts a day, or I was trying to get 2 workouts a day, and so I was really pushing myself to get into that. And like I said, November I was refocusing, so really did help to have something nice to look at to make me push a little bit harder on that. Same kind of thing with this one, although I took it down a notch. This was Thanksgiving week, so I have the kind of Thanksgiving-y colors with the like brown oranges. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't eat everything. Try to stay focused but not go crazy and enjoy the holiday. And I have, oh, I think I accidentally put my voting sticker on the back of this spread by mistake. I had meant to put it onto my daily month-end page, and I put it on the back of this. So I glued another page to it to do my health stats here in red for November. And as you can see, things picked up quite a bit better than they had been before. And like I said, I started really refocusing. So 5 goal there was pretty great. And finally, December. So same setup here with the gradation and symptom tracking, all that, all the same. This one I don't remember loving. I used the student seasonal sticker book and kind of did a little bit of a rainbow theme here, but it came together well. I don't think it was one of my favorites as far as decor. And as you can see, I kind of used a similar thing as I did in the beginning of the year with the circles and the dotted line. This one was awesome. Loved this one. This was my Holly Jolly Donuts theme, and I had gotten these donuts from a sticker pack from Target. It was really, really just fun and holiday oriented, so I enjoyed this spread quite a bit. Yeah, just lots to look at, fun. This one was another one that I really, really liked. I had done the Naughty and Nice Plannable Challenge on this spread, and I gave some of the little snowman cookies some eyebrows to make some naughty and some nice. But really, I mean, although that's just adorable, the real star of the show is the color scheme. I really loved this color scheme, even though it's not a traditional holiday theme, just kind of like this modern rainbow color scheme. I really enjoyed. And the little faces were just like the icing on the cake there. So this one came out really good, surprisingly. And then this was Christmas week, so I just went full board with the red glitter and foil. I thought it was a pretty good spread, but the week obviously I was just doing whatever because it was Christmas, and I totally got off track near the end of the week. But a good Christmas spread, I thought. And then this is the last spread, goes into 2021. I did the New Year's theme, kind of carried over the silver from the silver and gold theme from the horizontal planner. I did gold in that planner. I did silver here with the black and the pink, and I thought this turned out really great. Love the look and feel of it. Even though I'm not a big fan of silver, I think it turned out really nice on this spread. So I enjoyed that a lot. And then the last month of monthly goals, December, used the green, and again, met 5 out of 6, which was really a big improvement over the months. So really it was helpful to see it all in one place. And that is my health planner for 2020, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. If you did, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up down below, or a comment maybe if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!